Next to me is the amazing, the extraordinary float pod. The float pod was invented in the 1950s by Dr. John C. Lilly, who was doing research on brainwaves and altered states of consciousness. The pod provides an environment that suspends your body in a zero-gravity-like state and is a powerful tool for relaxation, pain relief, and getting a better night's sleep. This is accomplished with about 1,200 pounds of magnesium sulfate, more commonly known as Epsom salts, which is dissolved in 200 gallons of water heated to skin temperature. You are about to embark on an incredible journey. The familiar sensation of floating feels like a part of you is returning home, a state akin to being in the womb. Your body floats on the surface without any effort. This sensation can be extremely euphoric and energizing, but flotation is a serious therapy, and the first few sessions may make you sleepy if your body undergoes some detoxification reactions. Later sessions will leave you feeling refreshed, energized, aware, and joyful. Think of it as a reset button, physically and mentally. You may hit a wall upon getting in, but should settle down after a bit. There are a lot of positions you can try, including the I surrender, which is good for those with upper back and neck pain, the plank, which is a very common position, mummy, mild dance, and several more. Find a comfortable position and try to stay as still as possible. This is very important. Do not move. We are tricking our brains into thinking we are asleep. Make sure not to splash around in the pod or scratch an itch on your face to avoid getting the salt water into your eyes. Okay, this is a common problem. Let's take a few deep breaths and begin some simple relaxation techniques. Count your breaths. Both the inhale and exhale count as 1. Count up to 300. Yes, 300. If your mind begins to wander, this is perfectly normal. Do not get frustrated and return to counting your breaths. As you begin to relax deeper and deeper, your brain will begin to shift to the theta brainwave state. Normally, we are in a beta brainwave state upon waking, indicated by a faster wave or higher brain frequency. After 20 to 40 minutes in the pod, the brainwaves shift from the faster beta wave state to the slower or lower frequency theta state. Theta wave activity has been associated with greater cognitive potential, long-term memory storage, and enhanced creativity. Children have more theta wave activity than adults, and thus they tend to be a little more creative and carefree. As you relax deeper and deeper, very lucid and profound states are possible. But these are rare and only occur to about 3 to 5% of clients. It's important not to pursue any state, but remain calm and relaxed. Focus on breathing. If you are experiencing pain or have chronic pain, it's possible these parts will seem more intense in the pod during the beginning to the middle sessions of your float, as your mind has nothing else to focus on. Internal studies have shown chronic pain will drop 40 to 50% in the first float, down to 80% or 90% relief by the third float. Other benefits include preventing sports injuries, speeding healing, decreasing cortisol production, lactic acid, and adrenaline, increased endorphin production, decreased swelling, improved circulation, reduces blood pressure, heart rate, and oxygen consumption, promotes calm, eliminates fatigue and jet lag, improves sleep and the chances of having lucid dreams, energizes, shifts brainwaves, improves mental clarity, intensifies acuteness of all senses, accelerates learning, cooks toast, and diminishes depression and addictions. Floating is a tool, but it can take a few times before you know how to properly utilize this tool. Just like working out or dieting, it will take a few floats before even the minor benefits truly begin to manifest, and requires more use before profound benefits can be realized. Tension, pain, anxiety, stress, and frustration didn't form overnight, and it will take time for you to be able to release these on a significant scale. Please stick with us for a few sessions. If you are getting bored or your mind is overactive, stay calm. Many people will get out at this point. If anything, endure the full 60-minute float, and your body, mind, and spirit will thank you later. This is your time. If you are bored by you, what does that say about you? Cherish your time alone. In rare cases, nausea is possible. This could be a sign of the body detoxifying or a kidney disorder. Please consult your doctor should you experience prolonged nausea. In many cases, those that hold stress in their stomach get nauseous during times of escalated stress. Nausea in the pod could be a sign of your body finally letting go of this stress. If nausea persists, please get out, as vomiting, while extremely rare, is possible. Enjoy. Remember, this is your time. You will learn to love the time with yourself. This does take practice, but you are always worth it. In the last 5 minutes, the music will turn back on. In the last few minutes, stretch. If the light is off, it will turn back on 2 minutes prior to the filter starting. If you wait too long, you'll be sucked into the filter. No, just kidding. But the water will splash around a bit and could get into your eyes. You will likely sleep much better after the float and be in a joyous, mellow mood for a few days afterwards. pay attention to how you feel for the next few days. You will likely notice a huge difference. Remember, the more you get used to the process of floating, the better the benefits get. I recommend relaxing in the lounge for a few minutes after the float. There is no rush, and you may stay as long as you wish.
You guys saw the Penguin. Now we got the real cryo science. #1 cryo machine right here at home. I gotta have the recovery every day. Hurt my back up and down and out, but I'm coming back. Cryo. Go get one. Ready? Cryo science, baby. The best recovery there is. Aspiring to be better. Look at that smoke.
And I know from the tank, from the isolation tank, that it's a great way of absorbing magnesium through the Epsom salts.
Oh, into your muscle?
Yeah, through your skin. You know, because Epsom salts is so high in magnesium.
Really important for. I think it's an important, one of the, of many components in like healthy aging, healthy brain aging, lowering stress and stuff. So I would definitely like to.
I get out of that thing. I feel great. I'll come.
Do you do
down
it frequently
here.
still?
Yeah, it's right here. So I'll come down here early in the morning and do it sometimes.
How long do you have to stay in there to really?
I like at least an hour, but I really like to do 2 hours. 2 hours for me is good. But everything is a distraction. Like the seat on my butt is a distraction. The shoes on my feet are something I'm thinking about. The watch on my hand. There's all these different things that are distracting you. But when you get in that tank, there's none of those things. You're just. You settle in, and once you settle in, you touch each side so that you can, because you get in the water, there's like a few ripples and little waves, and then you touch each side so you calm everything down, and then I sink into the water, and then I take some deep breaths, and then I slowly bring my arms in the middle, and then I chill out. And I've done it so many times, my body goes, okay, here we go again. Like, it's not like, whoa, what is this? This is so weird. I've done it so many times that my body gets into that state very quickly. But if I take time off, and I do, sometimes I'll take weeks or even a month off, and then it's a little more weird at first. Like, oh, we're doing this again. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. But when I do it consistently on a regular basis, 2-3 times a week, then I could just sink right in. I think
because I go through like this. I also sometimes use the sauna for that, where I'll like have something like prepared. I used to actually, before giving a presentation, I would go in the sauna and I would go through it in my head. So it's like, that was something that I used to do a lot.
Right, because the sauna, there's nothing in there, just you.
Yeah.
Sitting there, and it gives you that unusual environment of just silence.
It really helped, yeah. So it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that with the
That's a step toward, but I think the float tank is one of the most underutilized tools for consciousness, for exploring consciousness, and just for relaxation, and for me, for examining ideas. If I have an idea, like I used to do a lot of jiu-jitsu in there. Like I would go into the tank and I would go over moves, because when you're completely out, I would drill moves in my head, like as if I was doing them. I would like clinch, hook, roll, tuck, grab, sink. I would do all these different things in my head.
Practicing,
and I would do that to get me to this like relaxation state. Or I would go over a joke that I'm struggling with, or a comedy bit. I'm like, what is a better way to say this? What's the best way to get this across? Now I'm saying it this way, but it's offensive, or it's blunt, and it's not the funny part. Like I'm taking a shortcut, and then I would go over it in my head, and then eventually, once I would do that, I would get to this relaxation point where then I could just concentrate only on breathing. So after I've like worked out all the things that are bugging me, and sometimes it would be like a seminar on my life. I'd get in there, and then as soon as I close the tank door and lay down, I'd take a few deep breaths, and then I'd be like, you need to spend an hour a day just doing this, and instead of drinking coffee and looking at your phone before you work out, just fucking work out. Just get in there and you're wasting 20 minutes doing that. That 20 minutes, you could have been done 20 minutes earlier, and then you wouldn't have to rush over here to do the podcast, and it's like it starts sort of giving me almost like a subconscious renovation, like just sort of like, 'cause, okay, like this all this stuff in your subconscious is disturbing you, and here's why it's disturbing you, because you've got all this clutter. So let's clean this shit up, get it together, And it's been responsible for, I think, a lot of my focus and discipline, like understanding the significance of that focus and discipline. And it's not just like to be a tough guy or to just go out there and kick ass. It's more like to absolve yourself of brain
I think
clutter.
a lot of people could use more of that, including myself. I mean, it's certainly.
I think all of us. I think all of us, really. Anyone
use other
listening.
things like extra running long runs.
Sure.
Do something similar.
in that zone.
In the zone, yeah.
Yeah.
To sort of, but what you're describing sounds kind of like next level
A lot of people get it from swimming as well.
swimming. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because it's just like
Kind of
you just-
repetitive. Yeah.
that repetitive thing, and then you're sort of managing the motion of your body, and then once you get in, it's almost like a mantra. You're managing the motion of your body, and then the breathing, and then once you get it all synced up, if you're in good enough shape that it's not like a titanic struggle with every lap or every stroke of your arms, you can get into this sort of meditative state that a lot of people achieve with running or even with just like sitting there breathing.
Yeah, I'm definitely into, we call them the floats. There's a lot of different benefits to it. Obviously with the Epsom salts and magnesium that are in those tanks, they help with recovery and relaxing your muscles and things like that. And then also just the sensory deprivation aspect of it. It's one of the only places you can really get unplugged from all, noise and just distractions that goes on with daily life. So spend about an hour and a half in the pods, probably once every 2 weeks or so. So it just helps you recharge, helps you refresh, and allows you to just be you and your thoughts for an hour, which is hard to come in obviously in our fast-paced society, so it's fun.
He is not one of the greats yet.
It's about titles.
1, 2, 3.
Can Curry deliver?
You looked overwhelmed out there.
Restless. Too small. Rejected. Too flashy. Struggling. Denied.
Calm. Strong. Focused.